Welcome to Talk with Sally. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I have 50 fish that I have to fillet. They're all striped bass from Lake Powell, Utah. And I'm the only one. I didn't go on the fishing trip, and typically I fillet them as soon as we get back to the boat. So I usually have 5, 6, 10 to fillet. It's a lot easier to bring home. However, I didn't go on this trip because poor doggo passed away and I needed to stay home for the kids who couldn't come. Anyway, so I've got a bunch of fish to fillet and I'm going to teach you how to do it. I think I have everything up that I need. Hold on one sec. Give me one sec. I forgot to set one thing up. I don't need that in my ear. All right, forgot to open my chat. So there we go. I think it's all set. Perfect. All right, one last thing. I've got to put something on top of my camera stand so that it doesn't blow over. All right, that should be good enough. Oh, hello, everyone. Hi, Julian. Just the three of us for now. Okay, so things that I have. The way I fillet fish to make it easier is got a cutting board, got clamp to clamp the fish to the cutting board to make it easier, and then I always use rubber gloves because I hate the feel of slimy fish on my hands. Plus, the fish are have little pokey things that when they poke you, it's like a sharp needle going into your skin. And I don't know how many times I cut my skin with it, so I'm hoping to not. Then a knife like this is a bow knife. So we'll use a bow knife. I don't know if you can see that. It's part of my fillet kit. And then I'll use this fillet knife. I've already checked and it's nice and sharp. And probably this guy that has the hook right there. Okay, so I'm going to use these three things to cut the fish. And I learned this from a guy actually at Lake Powell when we were fishing. And so far, it's been the easiest method to cut this. And I don't think this chair is tall enough. This table is pretty tall. I have to go get a stool for this chair so I can be tall enough. But the most important thing is if you can see the cutting. So fish or wasps or hornets love fish. So as soon as I start doing all this, hopefully I don't get attacked by them. As everyone knows, my dilemma with hornets. Several of them. I'm surprised she. This is a little bit better than the business knife. This is what she really needed to make her job easier. She probably wouldn't have gotten so tired and left the head behind, right? She wasn't thinking. And no, I'm not murderous. All right, so I'm going to show you here. Like I said, I have everything in water, and I'm going to spray things off as I go because the bees love the smell of fish, as long as they stay away. So there's parts of a striper that are toxic or where they hold like the mercury and stuff. So I'll show you where that is. And before when I filleted them, I actually cut that out. But I may not need this clamp. We'll just see how it goes. But if I do, you can take the clamp and you clamp down the tail of the fish so it doesn't slip and slide around on your cutting board. Kind of slide off the edge. So I usually use this if the head is still attached and it's not, so I don't need to cut down where the head is attached. So when I cut it first, I'm actually going to cut up along the bottom of the neck here. I don't know if I want to dull my fillet knife. So I can cut the skin with this knife pretty easily. If it's sharp, yeah, so right there, I can just take this down the spine really easily. Okay, for me, before I cut the bones next to, hopefully you can see okay. I like to cut the skin off first and then cut off the stuff that's closest to the skin. So I'm going to go down with the fillet knife and I'm going to just go right along the edge. And you can usually feel right where the spine is, and you're just going to cut down to the spine, just a nice, good cut. And then I'm going to take, I don't know if this knife will be sharp enough. So I'm going to cut right by the tail. So on a striper, all of the meat, that one's not great. Oh, that'll blow that knife right quick. So we can cut the tail right there, right on that side. Most of the meat on the striper is on this back strap right here, okay? That's where all the good meat is. So that's what we're going to try to get on most of these fish. So we take this fillet knife. It's nice and sharp like it is. I'm going to gradually pull it away. Hopefully you can see. Let me know. How are you doing? Hi, Nukeman. Hi, Cole. How are you guys? Can you guys see okay, or do I need to try to change that camera angle? You guys probably already know. Let's see. So you're going to take this knife. I'm just going to go right along the skin. It's not very hard. I'm just kind of gradually, as I'm doing it, it's kind of like painting. It's like an art, right? So you can see how much skin is barely getting most of the meat off of there. So I'm kind of pushing the knife up towards the skin so I can get all the meat on there. And I'm not having to press hard because this knife is super sharp. This is the best Christmas present I ever bought my son. Because I get to still it. All right, so now I've got that nice and good. And I'm just going to kind of go up. So when I go fishing, if you fillet a fish like this, you don't even have to really gut them. Okay, so I've got that there. Like I said, I don't want to dull my other knife. So I'm going to stand up and see if you can see this. So right here, let's see right there. Can you see all that red? All that red stuff, that's where they hold all of their toxins. It's like all of the mercury and all the stuff that they still got from the water. That's where they hide all of their toxins. Sweet. I'm glad it looks good. I've actually got my laptop out here and I've got it hardwired. So that should help with the quality of the video. So if you guys can't see something and I need to change an angle, then please let me know. So you're just getting up. So I'm going to cut this red stuff off. I won't even keep that because that's where they store all our toxins. So we're going to eliminate that right away. So I'm just going to take the knife. Usually, yep, so I can just cut like a little angle right there and an angle on the other side. So you just kind of cut right there. And I most likely won't get 100% of it, but I'm going to try to get as much of it as I can. Just the big parts of it. I actually sometimes, the bigger fish actually have a lot more meat, but I think the younger fish taste better just because there's not as much crap on there. All right, so now that I've got that, take one more, there's one little stripe right there. It's not a ton, I'm going to cut it out. Hope you guys are having a great day. So glad I'm finally outside doing a a stream out here. My neighbors had to turn off their music. They were very nice. I didn't want to ask them. All right, so now that I've got that off, now it's time to separate the meat from the bone and the knife. So the knife is, if you just relax your hand, the knife will kind of guide you where it needs to go. Might have to go get my electric fly swatter. So you can just kind of go right along the spines there and gradually just take it off. There's not a ton of meat once you get to the ribs. So here's where the ribs start. That's where about all the meat ends. So I'm just going to make a line there. All right, so I know where it's at. And I'm going to take this knife. I'm not pressing, like I said, I'm not pressing hard. I'm just feeling where the bones are and just letting the knife glide along. And there's the first little steak. See that? It's pretty big. And then as I'm out here, I'm not streaming on Rumble now because I didn't have time to get streaming on Rumble. I have to set up a key code. So it's on Twitch and it's on YouTube. So those who don't want to be on YouTube can go over to Twitch. I do have that up. And I think most of you guys are here from Twitch, so that's awesome. Sorry, I just saw that. So that's where the clamp comes in handy. Did you see how I didn't have to move that fish too much? Now these little things right here on the back, these things are like sharp needles. So you gotta be really, really, let's see, I don't know if you can see those really good. You gotta be really careful with those little spines. Yeah, I didn't. So with Rumble, it's really, if you're trying to set up a stream quickly, it's not quite as easy because, like the way that is. I'm not going to use that on this side because it's a pain to get set up. So when Nick says it's a pain to set up on Rumble and YouTube, he's like 100% right on that. So once again, I'm going to take this on the other side of these little spines. And once I get going quick, I'm just going to cut these fast. Once you know, unless you have any questions, and we'll just hang out and cut some stripers. It's done with the dull. This knife is dull. Cut something with this. This should be really sharp. So the good thing about this kit is it came with a knife sharpener, which is kind of rather nice. I don't know if this one's going to sharpen it. I might have to do this one manually. This one I might have to do manually. I might have to sharpen those teeth individually. Yeah. Those teeth are going to have to be sharpened different. Usually, no, he's bent it. That's what he did. Normally, you could sharpen it with this and just do one side of the straight serrations, but he kind of bent those. So I'll pick a different knife to cut that with. So I'll use this. Yeah, that one's a lot better. I just don't want to dull my other knives that I'm going to use. So it's easier to get that knife and put it right in there. There we go. Yeah, there's ways to sharpen the serrated knives. That one's a different type of, usually a lot of serrated knives have one edge flat, and so you sharpen the flat edge. At least in my experience, that's what you do. But with that one has different teeth in it, more like a saw. So I'll have to sharpen that one differently. And now I don't have time to show you. All right, so we got that cut out of there, like I showed you before. I always have one side of a fish that I struggle with, in case you want to know. It's like once it's like, I don't know. I would say it's like braiding hair, but you guys don't know how to braid hair. One side is always easier to braid than the other. But once I get a hold of it, and do the exact same thing, I just kind of work it towards the top of the skin, nice and easy. So every single fish is just a little bit different. So finding out where the meat of is on the fish, kind of like the key, because that's what you want to mostly get is where all the best meat is to make for a steak or just a good either battered fish or cut it up. And also too, they're kind of like humans. There's always one side of a fish that has more meat than the other. So sometimes I'll take the meat off of one side and not do the other side because it's not worth the time. You're not gonna get much off of it anyway. But the one good thing I'm excited about them bringing the fish home for me to do this. Now I'll take all of this, all the fish scraps, and I will bury them in the garden, and it'll be perfect. So I've got that done. I'm gonna cut down the center of the bone, the spine. This is the first fish that I filleted in like 2 years. So at first I'm just a little bit slow. I forgot to take the toxin part out. It's easier to take it out before you take the fillet off, and that's why I like to do it in that order. You could do it technically afterwards, but it seems like if I do it in this order, I get more of the meat and I don't waste as much because I just take out that center spine right there. And I got some scales on this. So before I go any further, I'm actually going to rinse all those scales out so I don't have to deal with them later. Don't be getting all excited. I'm not going to calm down. I don't know why I'm sitting. This is just easier to do standing. So right there, I'm following just the path. All right, all of those watching right now, would it be easier if I move the camera in and zoomed a little bit so you can see more of the detail? Because for me, it's hard to tell what you can see because I'm looking on a different kind of a monitor. All right, so we've got 2 good steaks off of that one fish, which is good. Sometimes you don't get that much off of a fish. So in between each fish, because I hate cleanup, I spray down in between each one. It just takes a second. It'll keep all the critters away too. And yes, it seems OCD, but it helps. Just a lot less mess cleanup later. Yes, okay, that's what I thought. So I'm gonna move it up and we're gonna zoom in more on the fish. Let's see here. Let's see. I suck at killing wasps. All right, I think that's going to be, I think you're able to see that better. Let's see if that one's going to work better. That one's a tiny guy, but he's still got quite a bit of meat on him. Okay, so I'm going to do the clamp, and then I'm going to cut. I think that needs to go in even closer. Hold on. I'm going to lower the cam. I think you're able to see a little bit better there. All right, so I've got this knife. I'm going to cut the tail part right here with this one first. Is there a glare? I feel like there's a glare on this table. That fish is just shiny. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this, I'm going to cut right here on that side, just right by the tail. Once I got it there, take this knife here, right? And get right just underneath the skin. That's what that hook is just perfect for. Go right along those scales. Okay. I like the one I didn't do both sides first, but it is easier to do both sides of that and then start to do the other part. So I'm going to take this knife, right along the scale, take the hook knife, right in that little piece right there. I actually learned how to do this from, I think the guy was like 75 years old down at Lake Powell on the dock every 4th of July. He has a dock party. So they all get together. They all go fishing in the morning. So all of them go fishing in the morning. And then they come home and everyone just forms like a line and lays the fish. They soak them in eggs and then they batter them and they fry them up for the whole entire dock. And it's pretty cool. So I didn't know how to do it. So he taught me how to do it. And it was pretty cool that he took the time to do it. All right, so we got that part done. Get the fillet knife out. Yeah, that's a lot easier to show you. So right here. So for me, this side's easier. Take my knife. I'm gonna kind of hold it like this. Let's see if I can move the angle. So the motion, because it's all about the motion. Okay, so I'm gonna be here. I kind of hold the knife nice and loose. I'm going up towards the skin. And the secret is to have a sharp knife. Okay, so now I've got that start. Once you get a little start, you just kind of just gradually go up. So I've got the first base. I'm gonna go. So that, once I get it going, so right there, you can see that's all of the toxin, which I can do right there. And once I got the toxin out, then I'm gonna take it from the toxin part, and I'm gonna turn the knife straight up, and I should get all of it without having to do a second part. Okay, so there's all the toxin out, all in one swoop. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna go down along the spine with this knife. And like I said, the bones, if you kind of, the knife, you just go gentle, won't cut the bone. It'll just take the meat off. So you'll know right where the bone is. You can cut around it. So got that separated good. I'm going to do one more swoop down it. So once I get it to that part, I'm going to go around the other side. So this direction right here. Go here, and you're going to go right down along those ribs right there. And then, so the ribs is not any good meat. So I'm going to go from the tail up. I'm just going to glide right along with the knife, right along those ribs. And then I always feel with my hands. You usually feel if there's ribs in there or bones. There we go. Hi, Mofo. How are you? Cheers, everyone. Thank you, Cole, for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Thank you. So there's that. So there's a second half. So as I'm doing this, guys, if you have questions, if not, I'm going to kind of go. So I'm going slow to kind of show you. So this is a really faster, easier process. This towel actually makes it easier to clamp. I've never thought of doing that before. So I just learned something new just now. So having this board on a towel propped up so that you guys can see allows me to not have that clamp so I can do the other side that's awkward for me. So I'm going to get the first side started. So like I said, I'm kind of like holding the knife. It's kind of weird, but my thumb's like on top of it. I'm not putting hardly any pressure on it. Once I get it started, I can just kind of go towards the top of the skin. Okay, so now I've gone to the toxin part. Can you see all that red? So I showed you how to do it or what you're looking for when it's not on there. But I know what it looks like because I'm going now. Okay, so I've got the top layer of the toxin out. Now I'm going to go down to the center where the toxin is. And I'm going to turn the knife. I'm going to pull the skin back a little bit. And then I'm going to go straight up towards the skin. And it should take that little triangle out. And I'll take the rest of the skin off. Okay, so like that. So once again, on this side, I'm going to go down along the bone, the spine, nice and easy. Hi, is it Ewan? Ewan Farrimer? How are you today? This one definitely is a thicker side, which is good. The thicker cuts, the thicker fish are a lot easier to fillet. So now I've got it all the rib down. Now I'm going to take it from this end. I'm going to take that. Like I said, you can tell when you hit a rib. And I could try to get all that meat out, but that meat just does not, it's just not a good steak. So there's that. Pretty cool. And so all this stuff is not going to get wasted. It's going to go in the garden. And I'll pick a spot that the soil's not doing as well and kind of replenish it. What do you guys think so far? Does it look pretty easy? The fish are striped bass. They're a freshwater bass from Lake Powell, Utah. If you just got in here just now, I was telling everyone earlier that I usually go on this fishing trip. But since my doggo passed and both my kids are older, one is still in welding school, and my other daughter was working, and they weren't able to go. And I didn't want to leave them home in case they were, because I'm a dumb mom, didn't want to leave them home in case they were emotionally struggling. So I'm the one who fillets all the fish. down there. And usually I will do it in pairs of 5. You go fishing, you come back, and you just take care of them, right? But I've got 50 of them to do because it didn't happen along the way. They caught a buttload of fish. Yeah, so the reddish part, so that reddish part that is kind of like the reddish part's like their blood, right? Their blood supply. So where their blood is kind of where the toxin part is. So if that red meat, people are like, oh, that's a dark meat, it tastes good. Well, that's where the fish store their toxins. So I like to cut it out before I cook it or prep it. So it's just I just know it's ready to go. It's probably not going to hurt you to leave it. I just prefer not to. So once again, we got our fish. I'm going to clamp it. Take this knife right along the toe. This knife. And get along the spine. And I have some really good batters that you can do. They're really yummy. So I like to do both sides prep. As you can see on the last one, it was a lot quicker for me to do it when both sides were already done before I tried to chop it apart. I have the spine stuck in that. This one's going to be easier to come from this direction. There we go. No, those are in a separate bucket. I should have told you that. My bad. So I take the bone fillets. So I'm cutting that. Well, I actually didn't cut them out on that one, but I will make sure those are out. Those will be easy to take off once I'm done. I don't bury anything in my garden that has potential of having hormones in it. Like I would love to bury like meat, leftover meat and stuff from the grocery store. Unless it's organic, I don't do that. So this one doesn't have near as much toxin on it. Can you see? That one's only got like a little spot of it. And you can tell it's a little bit of a younger fish. It seems like the younger fish, the smaller fish, have less toxin, which is, I guess, goes with age, right? But my peppers, where I buried these fish in last year, look so awesome. So now I'm going to go down the center. Oops, I can tell. So right there, you can't see this, but I went on the wrong side. That's the other side of the bone, so I gotta get this side of it. There we go. And you can kind of feel with your fingers as you're doing it. Like right there, there's this bone, there's this rib from the other side. So now I got it to that right there. It's just easier to take this here. Easy peasy. And that one has a little bit of scales. I always have water handy. Some people can get their fingers in here. Like some fishermen, like down there, will take pliers and they'll just rip the skin off. But I feel like you lose a lot of meat when you do that. This side has a lot more toxins. I can see it. No, the actually the striped bass get pretty big. These are actually the smaller ones. These are small. right now. I do have a really big fish. I should have brought some. I'm going to have to go do that, Julian. Go to the fish store. Okay, so right here, let me turn so you can see. So I can already see the toxin, right? It's just easier to take a little skim. Yeah, I can just kind of get that off of there. Now, these are the tinier of the fish. There's bigger ones than this for sure. Okay, now I'm going to go down the center again. And the key is just really, I literally am just like kind of gliding my hand. There's no pressure on here at all. Gliding that, and as I'm pulling back, I'm seeing where the rib is. Right there's a rib. I can kind of just take the knife and glide around it so you don't end up with little teeny tiny ones that you didn't catch. This one's not quite as big of a steak on this side, but that's still really good. And what I'll do is I'll cut these into like little nuggets. And the neighbor boy hates fish. I tell him it's chicken nuggets and he'll eat it. Kind of funny. And now that Newton just reminded me about this mercury, I'm gonna take this off now and put it in that other spot bucket. Wasn't thinking on this other one because I'll take them off. Did anybody do anything fun today? Off camera, it won't take me that long to do 50 fish. Like I've done 3, and I've taken my time to go slow and to talk to you guys. I could probably do 50 fish in 2 hours. If I just go quickly and do it my way, see how fast I make it. One side. Ooh, that sounds fun. Coffee? Need some coffee. Did you guys have a good time? So that maybe take me about 5 minutes, I think. Oh, that's fun. Just a boring day, just hanging out. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad that all brothers are here hanging out with me. So that didn't take too long. So, like I said, I haven't played fish in like, gosh, it's been 2 years. Last year I didn't get a chance to go fishing. So in September, I am going to take a trip and go fishing. So I work my butt off until then. So I can take a vacation, but I still want to do some. I think it'd be fun to do some fishing streams down there. Different type of a lake. Pretty cool looking. So you could tell that knife was getting just a little bit dull on that last one. And by the way, I wasn't planning on doing all 50 fish tonight. Just gonna do a couple for a minute. That's really good, Julian. I think coffee is the hardest. It was the hardest thing to ever break the habit of. So when I was pregnant with my son, I quit coffee with my daughter completely. With my son, it was just too hard. So I allowed myself one cup a day on days that I waitressed, bartended. Oh, I would die without coffee. My daughter's friend is coming to, I guess I have to walk in a parade tomorrow. You're welcome. Just make sure I get it back, which I'm sure you will. So my daughter has for her work, they have to be in some parade tomorrow for our city. It's like a celebration of our town or whatever. And her friend's dog's going to walk in the parade. So they wanted to borrow. So my dog had puppy shoes. So when we go hiking, it wouldn't hurt his feet in the snow. So he likes to go shed hunting with my son. And he was a very good sniffer. So she just come by to grab him. Eowyn Farrimer, do I know you from locals or are you new to my chat? Because I don't recognize that name very well. But and you don't have to tell me what your other name is if you're on a different channel, that's fine. Okay, cool. I probably know your profile pic on there because I saw you know a lot of people buy their profile pics and when they change it, I get mad. But you can keep this. You don't need to tell me what it is. I'm close. It's fine. Anyway, I'll probably do this one more fish. Then I'll let you guys go, or you can hang out. So, if you guys want to hang out, press 1, and I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. If you have other places to be, if not, we can continue and just hang out and chat while I cut fish. Okay, same name. I think I know who you are. And it's not that I don't know. It's just that on here, I just see like your name. Well, thank you for being here today. So you can see it's pretty easy. Once you get into routine, I used to like care about getting every little morsel of meat, but it's more important for me. I'd rather not get the bones. I hate when you're eating fish and you get a big old bone down your throat. It's the worst. Makes me not want to eat fish for a while. Yeah. Okay. Oh, do you usually go in at nighttime or do you go in during the day? Because I'm sure I've seen you in there. I know I've seen your name in there. But I don't think that I've conversated with you as much because I would know. I'm trying to, I have to. So one was to continue. Okay, we'll keep hanging. When you guys are ready to go, just let me know. I gotta do these anyway. Might as well do it and hang out. Oh, I gotta rinse first. For whatever for whatever reason, rinsing all the stuff off also helps keep a nice edge as you're cutting on your knives. The one is to keep the hornets away because they love fish scales or any kind of meat. Do mic check. Take a sip of my drink. Ooh, pizza sounds great. Well, let me know. Are you on bed rest right now? That's terrible. Ooh, that would be. Who makes jalapeno poppers? Is that stuffed crust pizza? It sounds delicious. I'm going to flay away. I've got more coming. Don't you worry. I'm pausing my mic for only 3 seconds, guys. I'm actually going to run inside. Let's see, it's 6:30. It's been 1 hour. Give me 3 seconds. Do not leave. Julian, don't let these guys leave. I'll leave my cam going so you think I'm still here. All right, that was quick. Yes, I had to go pee real quick. I'm a girl. Yeah, drink coffee. Don't quit. This is awesome. I'm just going to take you sitting fish. Please, that was my mic. Sorry, that was rude of me. This type of knife is just about perfect. The perfect depth right there for getting right down the spine of it. So when I go down to the fillet knife, it's just a double check of it. The lighting's going to get better here in just a second too, I think. The sun's going to be in a better spot. Damn neighbors and motorcycles. What do you think this is? Summertime? They want to hang out outside? So another way too is so right there I already know that that's the end of the ribs. You go along with the knife like that. Ooh, I'm gonna have to learn. I'm gonna learn how to make homemade pizza. I used to not like pizza when I was younger. Like I hated pizza until I was like 17, I think. And now I'll eat it, but I don't like a ton of it. Like a slice here and a slice there. Unless I splurge and eat jalapeno. Ooh, this is a big fat steak in this one. So with this particular type of fish, I'll actually make halibut tacos. So striped bass is considered poor man's lobster. It doesn't have that fishy taste like salmon or trout. So there's a recipe I have where I'll cook it in the oven, marinate it, cook it in the oven or broil it, and and then you make it just this delicious sauce with cabbage. It's so yummy. I'll have another recipe I should teach you guys how to make. Ooh, I do have a good brine for smoking this fish too. In the smoker, I've done that too. With maple syrup, and brown sugar. Ooh, that sounds, I could do that. I'd totally do that. Like literally, I have the whole entire freezer is chock full of fish right now. So normally I don't have to, I could either fillet them or not, but to make room in the freezer for the extras, it's just easier to fillet some. How are you doing, Brimstone? You having a good day? We're getting all the mercury out right there. I'm sure you already know how. Most of the men in here already know how to do all this stuff. I'm sure you know about the mercury spot on the dead fish, but the red is where the fish hold mercury. This side's not as meaty. You're going to tell that right now. I wonder how come my one chat stuck. I do vacuum seal. So today I'm cutting the fish and I'll put them in baggies tonight. And tomorrow I'll actually vacuum seal it. I've never smoked it once I've filleted it, but that's actually a fantastic idea. Maybe I'll do that on Sunday. Do you make your maple syrup from scratch or do you buy it? Because the brine I did was brown sugar, honey. I think it did it have Worcestershire sauce? I can't remember if it did or not. Another big fat steak. These are actually smaller fish, but for as small as they are, they're pretty thick. Ugh, I do not envious of you at all, Brimstone. That's tough. Um, I guess when my mom, so I guess when my mom, when we would make, she would make syrup from homemade. She took maple concentrate, brown sugar, and just boiled it. So that's how she would make her own maple syrup. So I don't know if that's the same. I just know that's how she did it. So I guess I would have to look into it. And by the way, Brimstone, I'm sorry that you're having that issue with your daughter because it's teenage daughters, especially 16 to I think 15 to 18, are rough. For whatever reason, once they turn 18, they usually figure their shit out. Because girls are about 2 years more mature than boys, but they still have some learning to do. So at 16, they think they know everything and they can take the world by the horns, and they really can't. And so it's a constant battle of them thinking they know everything. When in reality, they really don't. Ugh, these thicker fish are so much easier to play. That's what she business said, right? So right now, guys, what I'm doing is I'm auditioning for the last days. So when the shit hits the fan, you guys know what I can offer. I can catch fish and play fish, okay? And I can make bread. So you better secretly tell me where your compound is so that when I have to walk across the nation, I can find somewhere. And my son can hunt. So every time I do one of these, I'm always feeling at the neck because there always seems to be a bone at the neck. I'm usually feeling pretty good. Well, thank you for saying hi. I appreciate you stopping by. Yes. I'm auditioning for when SHIT hits the fan so that, you'll want me to come help out and do these types of things. Brimstone, good luck with your daughter. I can give you advice from my perspective, but as a mother, as a female, but sometimes girls at that age just are really shitty and you just have to learn to ignore them. But I also got my kids past this time where they could run to another state, right? And be protected. I don't know. That's tough. I thank God every single freaking day that my kids are out of school. They graduated. They're on their next chapter of life. And I don't have to deal with all that other crap. And I'll tell you what, she'll hate you now for it. But my daughter says that she wishes I was more strict on her. But I actually was. She just didn't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to be more strict. Try to be very understanding, but still have rules. She turned out just fine, so I don't know. She'll realize one day. They turn 21, they're like, oh shit. My parent wasn't such an asshole, were they? Get away. Get away, B. I hate you. Oh, Yeah, that you're pregnant. Is that why you're in bed down? I hope that's why on bed rest. How exciting! Yeah, my daughter made it through high school, all that years without, thank heavens. Okay, you don't have a. Okay, how much longer you got? That's exciting. That's way 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 exciting. Oh, please don't lose your baby. Hi, Bosco Sauce. How are you? Did you just get in here? We are filleting fish. And it's none of your business. Just kidding. Sorry. Lost time. Must have some smell in my club. On some liberals Twitch? What are you talking about? I guess I thought that one went over my head, apparently. Oh, that would be fun. And do a camp out and cook fish. Oh, yay, I'm excited. I was on bed rest for 3 days with my first child. She was born at 31 weeks. So just long enough to get some drugs into me, magnesium sulfate. It was a trial thing at that time. Don't know if I would have done the same thing nowadays because I was young then, but it sucked. Like they got mad at me for just getting in a wheelchair and going outside. So even if you can make it to 31 weeks, you can have a very, very healthy baby. Not saying that you should do that, but I'm saying that my daughter was 3 pounds, 2 ounces, and everything was just fine with her. Everything was perfect except for learn how to eat and breathe on her own. Like no other complications. Well, I guess you had to be on room air oxygen is all, but not saying you should do that, but I'm saying don't spend all your time stressing so much. Yes, stay on the bed rest and follow your doctor's instructions for sure. But if that made any sense. So when I'm running my fingers down like that, I'm feeling for any bones, kind of separating it. I guess just to turn this way so you can see. I'm going like that. I'm kind of, right? Wow. So you've got something. At least, you know what? Kind of good that your mom went through that if she's around still, because then he can tell you what it was like to go through that. And you know from experience that, everything can be just. Oh, so you did it yourself. Well, that was smart. So you're listening to your body. A lot of people don't take the time to listen to their body because they're too stubborn. With my first child, I did never stop doing anything, right? And I probably should have cut back. Like I played volleyball up until I was 5 months pregnant. I'm sure that's not what caused it, but I just never stopped doing anything because I like to be active. So the fact that you'll stop and listen to your body, very good. Okay, some of these have been in the freezer for a minute. I'm gonna check this one out. This meat doesn't look good. I'm gonna throw it away. Can you tell that the knife got dull? That's when you can tell. That one doesn't have hardly any meat right there. I'm not even going to worry about that down there. Get at least one little chicken nugget out of that one. Oh my gosh, the contractions were getting bad. Trying to think. Make sure you're just doing some really good breathing exercises. And honestly, try not to think about the worst case scenario. Envision everything working out perfect. Imagine that little one staying inside your belly. Tell her or he, I have a feeling it's a her, but I don't even know. Um, everything's going to be okay. She's wanted, he's wanted, loved. You can't wait to see him, but just cook a little longer. Do all, I mean, positive thought with the brain, it really, really does do. It's very powerful. I know that sounds silly, but plants pick, no, I don't know. Plants don't pick up mercury like humans and fish do, no. I don't know. I guess I said no, but I guess I should research that. I want to say no, just, but you know, honestly, I can't say definitively. That was really immature of me to. So that fish hardly had any meat. It was the same size as those other ones. I think she was saying her contractions were too hard, or am I mistaken? And so she was saying that she put herself on imposed bed rest, not ordered by a doctor. And sometimes, Eowyn, I'm going to call you Farmer. Let's see, I'm going to call you Eowyn. Your last name is kind of hard, or whatever that last is hard for me to pronounce. Or Eowyn. When my daughter was about the age, that period, at about 21 weeks, also, um, your stomach is starting to grow and the baby is starting to kick. And sometimes with that stretching and kicking, I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm not a doctor, but it could be that. So you can let your mind kind of be eased a little bit by putting your head in that space that it might be growing pains, if that makes sense. You're an electrician? I was an electrician. Oh, yeah. If you're an electrician doing that, nope, that makes complete sense. You're stressing yourself out for sure. You need to stick to outlets and easy things. Doing a little experiment. I can't remember frozen fish. No, that could be easier to fillet. Um, put that other bag of fish over there in the corner. All right, what time is it getting to be here? Aowen. Oh, I like. Is that how your first name is really pronounced? Because I think that's gorgeous. Let me get down low so I can see you. Yeah, I would stick to if they'll keep you on their things they can do are easy. I wouldn't be doing any hard pulls. No way. There's another female that's an electrician that makes me like super happy. Everyone always looks at me like I'm weird for because I was one for what 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. I'm reading both chats. I can see both chats. Can you not hear me? Bosco sauce? I do not have a local stream yet. So right now I just have Twitch right now and I have YouTube going right now. I'm gonna upgrade, eventually get to where I'm doing local streams. I think those will be fun. Aowen. I like that. Aowen. Aowen. I think it's very pretty. I'm getting better at being a streamer, that's for sure. I'm still working on it. I'm getting more comfortable with talking to people and not worrying so much what just being me without worrying about every little thing and realizing things go wrong. So I'm getting there. And the bees are starting to come out. The wasps and the hornets are. So I'm gonna get down so I don't have to adjust my camera. And hopefully you could see me. Damn bees. Anyway, guys, I'll let you go. Thank you for being here. For those who are in here, I don't know if I can't remember if Nick said he was streaming tonight, but I am gonna do a movie tonight at 9:30, probably 9:50 Mountain or 9:30 Mountain. I'm not certain, but I'll post it on Twitch, and I will post it on. I was gonna do an earlier movie tonight, but I've got to clean this fish mouth. Got more to do tomorrow. Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, so what I was saying, ADD moment. Twitch tonight. I was going to do one at 8 on Fridays and just do more, but I can stay up later on a Friday. So 9:30 or 9:50 Mountain. I will post a time for sure within the next before 8:30. I'll figure out and get it posted. So you guys, if you want to come hang out, you can. And there's other things you're doing great, but I appreciate the heck out of you. Thank you for being here. YouTube, I could do YouTube and Twitch. For sure, I'm doing Twitch. I mean, you could talk further about that, Julian. But I will see you soon. Have positive thoughts, Aowen. And I will see you soon, Julian Bosco Sauce. Movie nights are fun. They're low key, good fun people. I try to pick good movies. So anyway, I'm ending. I'm officially ending this, guys.